Yeah, greetings in the name of the Most High. We are doing some more videos on what we call home remedies and the family, the children, the adults, to keep them well in these times of pestilence. So we're going to do we're going to do a formula here, our syrup. A syrup for a cold and a damp condition of the lung, meaning that it's going to be for congestion, it's going to be for pertussis, it's going to be for cold and flu or influenza. It's going to be antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral. And the thyme also have lots of antioxidants. So we're putting that, we're going to make a syrup so that you can keep it in your refrigerator for at least 2 weeks, and then you could take a teaspoon twice or 3 times per day, give it to your children, and then they're going to stay well in terms of the immune system and keeping the lung healthy. And a cold and a damp condition mean that you have a cold, or you're feeling very cold, and you are coughing and you are bringing up mucus. That's a cold and a damp condition of the lung. So we are going to make now a syrup for only a cold and damp condition of the lung. All right, if you have a dry cough, which is a dry condition, we're going to show you what you can use if you do have a hot and a dry condition, or a cold and a dry condition. But this here is going to be used for what we call a cold and a damp condition of the lung. Any cough, cold, flus, influenza, PCB, pneumonia, walking pneumonia, pertussis, constant coughing. This syrup is going to help your children and yourself to keep you all well, okay? Wonderful. Now, we're going inside it. We don't want to stay too long. So we have the orange peel. We have some thyme, what we call small thyme in grenada. This herb is very significant for the lung. It's good for pertussis. It is also good for antifungal. It's good for the stomach, for nauseated feeling if mixed with ginger. It is also good for any kind of viral infection of the lung. Thyme, that is, THYME. It is also an antioxidant. It is also good for any kind of fungus and any kind of bacterial infection of the lung. And that's the reason why I said before that plants have both, some of the plants do have both antibacterial and antiviral activity, and some do have antifungal also. But thyme is very significant. Then we have some ginger, and ginger is also good for a cold and a damp condition of the lung, just as thyme is also good for a cold and a damp condition of the lung. Orange peel also have lots of anti-tumor activity, and they have lots of volatile oil, but it is also good for when you have a cold and a damp condition of the lung, or if you're suffering from acrohydria, meaning that you're not producing too much acid in your stomach, people over 50. So what we did was we put 4 ounces of water in here, and we simmer it with a cover for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to get half of that. When we get half of the mixture here, we are going to strain it now. We're going to strain it. Yeah. Wonderful. And then we are going to put it in another pot. Yeah. Right here. We are going to turn on the fire. And then we're going to put the pot on the fire. All right. Now remember, we have here thyme, don't forget, orange peel, ginger. And then what we do is we have some apple cider vinegar in here with some garlic and some ginger and some onions. And this have been soaking here for at least a month. And what we're going to do now, we're going to add some of this mixture here, garlic, onions, and ginger, in some apple cider vinegar with the mother. We're going to throw a few drops of that in there, and then we're going to make that syrup for you. Yeah. Let me just take it a little bit more so we don't want it to stay too long. We're going to put a little bit more back in here. Right there. And we're going to throw now the apple cider vinegar with the mother. You could use some beeswax if you want to. Apple cider vinegar with the mother. We're going to put some ginger in here and some garlic and leave it for 2 to 3 weeks or sometime a month. The longer you leave it, the better. And we're going to throw a little bit of that in there too. All right? And then we're going to let it boil on for, at least half of what you have inside here. And after we do that, we are going to use some, you can use some honey, and we're going to show you how to make the syrup for that, okay? Wonderful. And then over here, if you have a what we call a dry condition of the lung, meaning that you have a cold and you're not bringing up mucus, then you can use this sea moss in the mixture, or what we call a demulcent plant, and we're going to teach you how to do that on our next video, yeah? So you can know how to use the plant the right way. Right, so we're going to open the honey, and it's boiling right now, and we are going to make sure and put enough honey in here, yeah? Put some honey in here, and then we're going to stir it up. See, that's mine over here. That's what I use. My ginger and my golden seal and my all these things inside here to keep my lung and my digestive system healthy. And we're going to stir it up a little bit. Yep. And you can use a little bit of if you have children and you want to kill the taste, you can always put a little bit of as honey also if the child is less than 18 months, because remember that if your child is less than 18 months, you cannot use honey because the child molar is not manifesting yet. So you can use some cane juice, but not honey if the child is under 18 months of age. Don't forget that. That's very significant. Yeah? So we're going to leave that there. We're going to boil it up a little bit. We're going to stir it up a little bit. Stir it up. Yeah? And so if once the child is past the age of 18 months, where the molar is just manifesting, then you can add honey into the mixture. And don't forget, if your child is under 18 months, the child molar is not manifesting, and the child pancreas is going to respond negative to the mixture. So don't forget that over 18 months, you add some honey. Under 18 months, you could put a little bit of, maybe a little bit of cane juice, but small amount. All right, don't forget that. So we're going to stir it up, keep on stirring, and a lot of the time you have to let it get down to a certain boil where it get kind of thick. Yeah, but keep on stirring. So if you put in 8 ounces of the tea or 4 ounces of the tea, when you finish, you're supposed to get at least 2 ounces. Okay, all right. And then what you have to do now, you have to lower the fire. Don't forget. You lower the fire a little bit more. Don't keep the fire too high after a while. You lower the fire. Wonderful. We lower the fire, and then we go back and we stir again. All right. Now you can do a little long. If you wanted to get a little bit more thicker, you can boil it for a longer period of time, and then it get thick. But I'm going to take it off now because we don't want to stay too long. But that's the idea. The longer you leave it, if you want it to be a little bit more thicker, you can add a little bit more honey in the mixture or some beeswax or something. All right, and then you're going to let it sit. When you let it sit for a little while, it's going to get thick. And then what you're going to do, you're going to take the mixture, this mixture right here, and you're going to pour it into a dark bottle. See it here now. There it is. Yeah. You can, if you wanted to get more thick, then you could add a little bit more honey. I don't like it too thick because sometimes it takes a little while to get to digest in the lung, in the stomach. Sorry. And if you have a cold and a damp condition of the lung now, and you don't have to use these herbs, but you can use sea moss with marshmallow, a fennel seed, or another herb called slippery if you have what we call a dry condition of your lung, meaning that you have a cough and the cough is dry and you're not bringing up mucus. The mucus is too thick to bring up. These herbs is what you have to use if you have a cold and a dry condition of the lung, or a hot and a dry condition of the lung. This one here is only for a cold and a damp condition of the lung, meaning that you're feeling very cold and you have the flu and you're bringing up mucus. So this is for cold and damp condition of the lung. And as I said before, the orange peel, which is over here, is also have anti-tumor activity. Have limonene in there too, which also get rid of tumors in the lung. So if you have lung cancer, you can always mix the orange peel with some ginger, some golden seal, some red clover, and some saw palmetto if you have trouble, if you have cancer in your lung. Okay? And we're going to take this mixture here now, and we're going to throw it. We're going to put it into a very dark bottle. Don't forget, very dark bottle. I'm going to put it in here now. And then we're going to cover it. Yeah? We're going to cover it. And we're going to place it in the refrigerator. Now what I like to do is, I like to put it in my freezer. You know? So when I put it in my freezer, I will get it a little thicker. You know, when it gets a little thick, I could put it in my freezer. You know? And you notice I don't have no, put it in my freezer right here. See my cane juice in here? I don't keep no ice in my fridge either. I don't keep nothing in here but bread. See? Ezekiel bread. That's what I keep in here. I don't keep ice in here either. I don't use ice. And let me put it in here, and you can leave it in there, you know, and then you can close the freezer. Boom. And then you leave it there for maybe about an hour or so to get a little thick. You take it and put it back in the refrigerator now. And then you get up in the morning, you can take a teaspoon in the morning and a teaspoon in the evening. And then you're going to see that you don't get no colds, no flus, nothing can stick in your lung. You understand? And your whole family is going to be healthy. And the next video we're going to do is going to be on a cold and a dry condition of the lung, and a hot and a cold and a hot and a dry condition of the lung, and show you what herbs you can use. Yeah? Wonderful. And don't forget to give God the glory, because the herbs are here for the healing of the nation. Don't forget that. You understand? And in the beginning, that's what God gave us to use. Go back again in Ezekiel 47:12. See what it says. Go back in Genesis 1:29. See what it says. Go back in Revelation 22 and read what it says. And the leaves of the tree shall be for your healing. Genesis 1:29. Your vegetables and your fruits and the leaves of the tree shall be for your meat. God knew what he was doing. So stay that way and go to the earth for your cures, because that's where all the cures are at. Blessed love. Give thanks and praises. Bless.